So on trail there is definitely a variety of meal types, and every person kind of chooses a different type, goes through phases of the different types. There's those people who eat exclusively hot meals. There's people who exclusively don't eat hot meals. And then there's a group of people that kind of alternate between the two, do some sort of mix between the two. And it's definitely a big debate on the online hiking community that I've seen, and so I wanted to talk about it today. So when I attempted my through hike of the Appalachian Trail, I definitely fell into the category of mixing the cooking types. Sometimes I would be of the group of snacks, and I never cold soaked, I will say that. And sometimes I fell into the category of hot meals, which typically ended up being my dinners. But I would categorize my breakfast and lunch more of the cold meal, if you will. Like I said, I never cold soaked. Hold please. I never cold soaked, but I did tend to pick up like snack items and things like that for breakfasts and lunches. So I would eat things for breakfast like cereals, and then I would add in like the powdered milk, so I would just have to add water to it. So I guess that's kind of cold soaking. I would do breakfast bars, Pop-Tarts. I wasn't the biggest fan of Pop-Tarts because they would crumble a lot while I was hiking in my food bag. But I would also do things like powdered donuts. Those, I tend on the days when I would eat powdered donuts, I would be a lot weaker, probably because it's just straight sugar and dough versus like any other type of nutrients. But I guess Pop-Tarts is the same way. I don't know. And then for lunches, I would tend, like I said, to do a lot of snacks. The first and second section, I tried to do more like sandwiches type things, where I did like a cheese, a meat, bread of some sort, and I kind of got sick of that after the second section, because the meat that we chose was like slimy from the heat probably, and we got like regular hamburger buns. Like, I don't know, I just didn't like it after the first section. And then after those two sections, I did a lot of what I called snack attack. Things like Lenny Larry's cookies, those were like my big calorie money makers there, if you will. I would get all types of chips and snacks. I typically would get like a big bag of chips and just snack on that for the whole section that I was out there. I would do protein bars. I loved the Lance crackers. Whew, so good on trail. You know, just a variety of snacks for lunch. So with the big debate part of this, I wanted to kind of share some pros for cold meals, I guess, and why some people choose to do that exclusively. So one big thing is I found it saved time, right? So I didn't have to spend time heating up water. I didn't have to go filter water to make these meals, with the exception of like the cereal. All I had to do was unwrap, which typically, I'm not wearing my pack today, I'm wearing a day pack, but typically I would keep all the things for lunch in my hip belt pockets. So all I would have to do is unzip, grab out the snack, unwrap it and eat it. And then the other side I would typically keep my trash in for my hip belts. So it saves a lot of time. You really don't even have to stop to eat lunch, which is really nice. And I found a lot of times when I did that, I would just hike and eat at the same time. I didn't really stop. And so when I did stop, it's like I could choose where to stop at versus like, I'm hungry, I need to stop where I'm at and eat now. So I liked that. My breaks tended to have a lot more views versus just stopping for a long lunch break wherever I'm at. Also, another big pro to it is you don't have to worry about water sources, right? You can eat lunch however much water you have left. You don't have to be near a water source to get water to boil, to make your meals, whatever. So that's another big pro. You can eat whenever you want. And then another thing that I think a lot of people don't really think about until they're in the situation is rainy days, right? So I found this on the first ever section hike I ever did on the Appalachian Trail. It was raining on, I think, the third day we were out there, and I had only brought like cooked lunches and cooked dinners. I think breakfast is I did like Pop-Tarts or something like that, but again, I was in my tent, so it didn't really matter, or the shelter, whatever. For lunch, we had nowhere to like sit and cook, right? So it was hard because in that sense, like, until you get to the shelter, you don't really have a covering when it's raining to sit and cook, unless you bring an umbrella, which I did not on my through hike. So on rainy days, cold meals are really nice because you can just, like I said, whip them out of your pocket, eat them, and keep them moving. You don't have to stop and find shade, or not shade, but like coverings to block from the rain, to cook, for your fuel, whatever. So it's a definite big pro on rainy days. So I think for me, a big thing on the trail with hot meals is that I always wanted to have at least one cooked meal every day, and that was always dinner for me. Although when I did my section hike with Omi, I'll link that down below, we did a cooked lunch, and that was really nice. But anywho, so for dinners, I would typically do ramen most nights because that was something that was always easy to go down. I always craved it. I think I was just craving a lot of salt, and that has a lot of sodium in it. So that was something definitely easy to eat every day. Sometimes I would do backpacking meals, mac and cheese, things like that. I think I had Norsides a couple times. It was just like a morale booster on those cold days because I did start in February. So it was very cold most days hiking. And then you get to camp at night and you just want something warm before you go to bed. And that was definitely something nice to have going into my tent or shelter at night. Kind of a con, I guess I would say, more so for that cooked meal, is that sometimes I would just be so tired I didn't want to cook at night. I had to do it though because that was the meals that I had planned, but I will say that was definitely a mental struggle some days because I'd be so tired and it's like, oh, now I have to wait and I just want to cook my meals. I never really experienced hiker hunger out there, I guess, where it's like, oh, I want to eat all the meals. But I'm sure if I would have kept hiking, I would have got that eventually. So like I mentioned before, one of the things I did on my section hike with Omi is one of the days we switched our lunch and dinner. It was her idea. She wanted to do a cooked lunch, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try it, see if I like it. And I actually really, really enjoyed it. I think because we didn't have rain that day, it was nice. Like I did mention before, this plan would kind of go haywire if we had rain that day, but I really enjoyed it because, you know, like I said before, when I get to camp after hiking, I'm from Florida, y'all. It is flat as can be out here. Like, you know, I'm exhausted by the time I get to camp. I don't feel like cooking. I just want to lay in my bed after setting up my tent and all that. I'm tired. And you know, on this particular day, we did a pretty long day of hiking. Long for me, I guess. And I think had we not done a cooked lunch that day, I don't think I would have cooked dinner. I think I would have just eaten more snacks because I was so tired. But it was nice because by the time I got to camp, I just got to have my snacks. I didn't worry about cooking, and I still had the same amount of calories in me. I really enjoyed it because after I did eat, you know, that lunch, oh, I just saw either rat or mouse. I don't know. After I did make that meal and ate it, I felt very fueled for the rest of the day, right? So I definitely felt like I had plenty of energy to keep going on my day. I think that was something that I really struggled with when I was on my thru hike, is I would like lose energy. I'm definitely a morning person. I have all my energy in the morning, and so coming into the second half of the day, I'm typically tired, and having a cooked lunch definitely helped me not be so tired. So a cooked lunch also gave me a nice long break in the middle of the day. Ooh, okay, bugs. A cooked lunch also gave me a nice long break in the middle of the day to rest my feet up, you know, get new feet, as they say. And another thing that was very big for me on trail was that every day I felt like I didn't have enough time at camp to relax and enjoy the camp that I was at. I mean, I shouldn't say every day. There were a few days where I felt like I had a lot of time to just chill, talk to people, and you know, that's a big part of my thru hike attempt, is like I wanted to meet new people and meet people who enjoy doing what I enjoy doing, because my friends down here definitely don't enjoy going out on hikes and living in the woods for a month. But anywho, with a cooked lunch, that gives me a lot more time to chill at night, because I don't have to spend so much time getting water, filtering it, heating up the water, waiting for the food to cook and rehydrate and all that, eating it, blah blah blah. I can just open my package, eat it, and be done. So definitely something in the back of my brain, if I were to thru hike again, or you know, go out on, or attempt to thru hike again, because I didn't thru hike, as we all know, or you know, go out on a section hike or overnight hike or whatever, something that is on my brain is to try and do cooked lunches and see how that works out for me. So I am generally curious what boat y'all float in on this debate of hot versus cold lunches and dinners and meals, I guess, in general. Let me know, because I am toying around with the idea of doing either some section hikes or going out and reattempting the Foothills Trail this summer. I'm not too positive if I'm going to do it or not, just because the bug situation, and I got some plans for some other stuff going on this summer, so I'm not sure if it's going to fit in my schedule. But if it does, I want to try some different meals. So let me know in the comments down below which boat y'all float in. Are you a cold mealer, cold soaker, hot meals for every meal, or are you kind of a mix of both? And have you tried hot lunches versus hot dinners, if you're kind of like me where you just do one hot meal? Let me know in the comments below. I hope y'all found this video interesting or have some opinions on it, and if you did, definitely give me a thumbs up on this video, because I know it's a big debate and everyone likes to debate on the internet. right everyone has some sort of opinion, so share yours. Alright, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Definitely subscribe. Look forward to more hiking videos, and I will see y'all somewhere on trail in the future. Bye.